Good morning. Today we're going to talk about principle number 8. Miracles are healing because they supply a lack. They are performed by those who temporarily have more for those who temporarily have less. And this one's a really important one to me because I do a lot of healing work. It is my calling. I'm a teacher and a healer, and that is the one thing that I know to be most true. We are all the child of God, right? So we are innately perfect. However, within this human realm, we have these bodies, these emotions, these thoughts, and when any one of those things is not in alignment with our true self, our higher self, then there can be symptoms, okay? And those symptoms can look like a physical ailment, or it can look like emotional distress, or it can look like crazy sabotaging thought patterns that we keep playing over and over and over again, creating our own suffering. Again, those are all just evidence that we are caught up in an illusion. Now, I know a lot of times human beings have the idea that our whole spiritual being is the illusion and that this whole physical world is reality. And I must tell you that that is completely backwards to the truth. Because the truth is heaven. The truth is God. The truth is love. Love is all that's real. God is all that matters. Like, love is our truth. And if we're experiencing anything other than that, it's simply because we have forgotten who we really are. We've allowed ourselves to get caught up in this illusion of the physical world. We've allowed ourselves to get caught up in these thoughts or these emotions or these physical bodies, okay? Your physical body is not who you are, which is evidence. If you've ever gone to a memorial service where they have a viewing and you see the lifeless body lying there, that is no longer your loved one. Like, their body's present, but they're not there. It makes it very, very clear to us that we're not that physical body. That physical body is just a tool we're using to communicate who we really are. And we really are the spirit that animates the body with life. Right? So, when it comes to healing, basically all that we're doing is we're presenting ourselves to someone who's not caught up in our illusion. That's when miraculous healings occur. So I have many clients who have healed all kinds of incurable diseases. They've healed everything from pancreatic cancer to MS to all kinds of neurological damage that was irreparable according to Western medicine. And they've healed all of it. Why? Because they realize that the physical body is an illusion. And I stood strong in that with them. I gave them permission to connect to God within them and allow themselves to be healed. Did I do anything they couldn't have done for themselves? Probably not. The only difference was I have the knowing. I have the absolute, undeniable certainty of God. And I held strong in that for them and with them. You know, we partner up in healing work. So it brings us back to the principle which states All that healing is supplying a lack. They're performed by those who temporarily have more for those who temporarily have less. Innately, we are equals in every way, but sometimes we forget who we really are. And in those moments, people who remember who they really are can help remind you, because they remember who you really are too, and they just lift you back up into the knowing. Hence the temporarily. You can never ever truly forget who you are, because as long as your soul occupies your physical body, somewhere deep within you is the knowing of who you really are. That knowing that you are so much more than a body, emotions, or mind. So much more than what this world could possibly tell you that you are. You are magnificent. You are the child of God. So with that said, this week I'd really like you to play with healing. Play with your own healing. Just kind of, for me, I'm always on the lookout. Is there something up that's out of alignment? So yesterday is a perfect example. Yesterday afternoon, all of a sudden, there was a little bit of nausea present, and there was a little bit of, diarrhea present. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't take it on. I didn't start creating the belief of I'm sick or what's wrong. I didn't go into fear. I just realized, oh, you're giving me an opportunity to heal something today. Why, thank you. Is there anything in particular that you would have me do? So I was directed to take a couple of different herbs and to lay down and rest. A few hours later, I was prompted to go find some chicken noodle soup, which is not something I normally have or make. So I had to go out and find that. And within a couple hours, I was totally, all of the symptoms had subsided. But interestingly enough, when there's a stomach issue like that in Chinese medicine, it can reflect on a need to nurture oneself, right? Because in Chinese medicine, the earth element, the stomach, has a lot to do with allowing the self to be nurtured. And that's really all that was happening yesterday, as I was taking a few hours out to just nurture myself after taking care of everyone else all week long. So it was not really that something was wrong or something was amiss, or, I'm sure that if I'd gotten all wrapped around the axle with those thought processes, I could have really dragged it out and turned it into something horrible. But as I've mentioned before, I'm not a great one for suffering, so that's not really something I would choose to do. Instead, I just connect up, ask Holy Spirit, is there something you're trying to teach me here? What is it exactly I need to know? And I was just directed exactly what to do. You have those same abilities. I have no abilities that you don't have. Yours are probably way beyond what I've even experienced. But the only difference between us is I practice listening all the time. I practice connecting into God's energy. I practice listening to Holy Spirit's messages. I practice making myself available to the Christ to be whatever it is I'm needed to be here on the planet to serve all of you. So this week, take a look at your own self. Take a look at your own healing path. Is there anything going on for you physically? Is there anything that's going on for you physically that's lingering? If there's something that's lingering, it may just be that you've forgotten who you really are. You may have begun to believe that you are these physical bodies, or that these emotions mean anything. The only thing that an emotional turmoil means is you're on the wrong path. You're no longer on your spiritual path. You are chasing your ego, and there's no cheese down that chute. So bail. Look for your joy. Follow your peace. Connect to your God. Okay? So Be so kind as to share below anything that you come up with this week. If you notice, oh my gosh, I'm really working on healing through this. Or it could be something physical, something emotional. It could be like a sabotaging thought that just keeps shooting through your head that you can't let go of. Whatever it is you're working on healing, mention it below in the comments. And together, the whole community will pray for you to lift you up and out of that, to remind you of who you really are. Let's come together and really make this a community that supports each other in believing in each other, and remembering who each other are, seeing the light in each other, and learning from each other. Okay? I hope you have a really miraculous week. And if there's anything I can do for you, or you need any prayers, or you know of someone else who you think could be supported by prayers, pop over to the prayer request page and leave us a request. And we'll send them all the love and light that they need. In the meantime, have an amazing week, and do not forget that miracles are healing. They supply a lack. They're performed by those who temporarily have more, by those who temporarily have less. So let's spend the week lifting each other. Love you. Have a great week.